How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just wanted to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite from last night, which was December 1st, 2021. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was Bryan Danielson versus 5. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Bryan Danielson went over with the knee bar, but after the match, Tony Schiavone interviewed Bryan Danielson, and Tony Schiavone was bringing up about Bryan Danielson going up against Hangman Page for the AEW title at AEW Dynamite's The Winter Is Coming and on December 15th and everything, and Tony Schiavone even brought up to Bryan Danielson about him being on a path of destruction against the Dark Order and everything as well. And Bryan Danielson was talking about, Bryan Danielson was saying that if that's the best Georgia's got, then I kicked his ass. But next week I'm here. But next week we're going to be in Long Island, New York, and I heard that there's a member of the Dark Order from Long Island, New York. I'll kick his head in too. And not only that, but on December 15th, at Winter Is Coming, Hangman Page, Hangman Adam Page, I'm going to kick your head in too. And I'm going to take the AEW title from you because you're not cowboy shit, you're coward shit. So, Hangman Page was getting ready to come down to the ring and fight Bryan Danielson, but John Silver came out and with a microphone and said, "Hangman, you can't touch Bryan Danielson right now, but I can." And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go down there and I'm gonna kick Bryan Danielson's ass. So John Silver went down to the ring and Bryan Danielson retreated, and Bryan Danielson was saying, Bryan Danielson was saying, you people really think that you deserve. Bryan Danielson was saying, you people think that you deserve to be, you people think that John Silver deserves to be in the same ring as the American Dragon Bryan Danielson? No, because John Silver is not on my level. He is below me. I am above him. And everything, and then Bryan Danielson went up to Hangman Page, and Hangman Page and Bryan Danielson were staring each other down, and Bryan Danielson was telling Hangman Page he'd like to slap him in the face and everything, and then Hangman Page told him, go ahead and do it, and everything, and so as Hangman Page and Bryan Danielson were staring each other down, Bryan Danielson ends up walking backstage, and Hangman Page goes and tends to 5, and John Silver's in the ring standing tall and everything. That was cool. And that was after the match, by the way. Match 2, it was CM Punk versus Lee Moriarty. That was a great match, but the ending to it, CM Punk went over with the GTS. Where after the match, MJF comes on stage with a microphone and starts talking shit to CM Punk about him, and talks about how the only thing he's been doing is trying to get in Britt Baker's pants, and was saying that if he was Britt Baker, he wouldn't get in bed with CM Punk and everything, and MJF was talking about how CM Punk struggles to beat the likes of QT Marshall and Lee Moriarty and everything, and then CM Punk was talking about. Then CM Punk got on the microphone and was talking about how QT Marshall, how he may have struggled to beat QT Marshall and Lee Moriarty, but QT Marshall and Lee Moriarty were better than him, and he knows it. And CM Punk was also telling MJF. And CM Punk was also telling MJF to bring his needle dick down to the ring and let's fight. Well, MJF said, Atlanta, Georgia, do you really want to see CM Punk and MJF go at it? And MJF said, well, too bad. It's not going to happen. And then MJF continued to talk more shit towards CM Punk, and then also talk shit about CM Punk's dog Larry, and MJF was calling it a maggot-looking dog, and a maggot flea-looking dog, and was saying that if CM Punk brought his dog Larry back to AEW, he was going to put him to sleep and everything. That's what MJF was telling CM Punk. But then CM Punk come up the stage and was getting ready to attack MJF, but Wardlow came out, and MJF went and hid behind Wardlow, and CM Punk and Wardlow stared each other down, and referee Rick Knox and referee Paul Turner had to break it up and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. Match 3, it was Wardlow versus AC Adams. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Wardlow went over with the powerbomb. Well, after the match, Shawn Spears came into the ring and attacked AC Adams with a steel chair multiple times, beating the shit out of him with it. And then Wardlow and Shawn Spears celebrated Wardlow's victory and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. That was match 3, and that was match 3, by the way. Match 4, it was Sting and Darby Allin versus the Gun Club, which are Billy and Colton Gunn. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Sting and Darby Allin went over because Sting pinned Colton Gunn with the Scorpion Death Drop. That was match 4, by the way. Match 5, it was Ruby Soho versus Chris Statlander. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Ruby Soho went over with a roll-up, where after the match, as Ruby Soho and Chris Statlander were celebrating and were embracing a moment, and Ruby Soho was celebrating her victory and Chris Statlander left the ring, Vicky Guerrero came out and distracted Chris Statlander. Well, Chris Statlander and Vicky Guerrero were bickering, and while that was going on and Ruby Soho was celebrating her victory, Nyla Rose came out and grabbed Ruby Soho and pulled her off the top rope onto the mat in the ring and everything, and then Chris Statlander came down to help. Chris Statlander came to Ruby Soho's aid, but Nyla Rose retreated, and Chris Statlander tended to Ruby Soho and everything. That was cool. And that was after the match, by the way. And match 6, which was the main event, it was Cody Rhodes versus Andrade El Idolo in an Atlanta street fight. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Cody Rhodes went over with a diving reverse DDT through a flaming table. Now, besides the matches, Miro cut a promo talking about how his God has revealed his true colors and revealed that how much of a dick he's been to him. And Miro was also talking about how he was going to destroy anyone that gets in his way and how it was the words of the Redeemer and everything. That was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed Team DMD, which are Britt Baker, Rebel, and Jamie Hayter. And Tony Schiavone brought up to Britt Baker how upset she was and everything. And Tony Schiavone brought up to Britt Baker how she was upset about Riho getting a shot at her for the AEW Women's title, and everything. And Britt Baker was saying, upset is an understatement, Tony. I'm furious because it's sickening that Tony Khan would put me through that situation and give Riho a title shot at my AEW Women's title after she cheated to beat me and everything. And then Tony Schiavone brought up to Jamie Hayter. Well, Tony Schiavone said, Jamie, why weren't you at the Friendsgiving celebration last week? Jamie Hayter said, well, that's funny, Tony, because while you all were having your Friendsgiving celebration, I was having a match against Thunder Rosa. And Britt Baker said, which you lost. Jamie Hayter said, well, if I recall, Britt, you faced Thunder Rosa back in March in the Lights Out match, and you lost. And then Britt Baker was saying, okay, let cooler heads prevail. Rebel was trying to keep the peace, but Britt Baker was saying, okay, let cooler heads prevail. Because let's not live in the past, because next week Jamie Hayter will be going one-on-one with Riho. And if Riho can make it past Jamie Hayter next week, then she'll get her shot at the AEW Women's title. But I highly doubt that's going to happen, because Jamie Hayter is going to manslaughter Riho. Now, yours truly, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and everything. That was cool. Adam Cole. Well, wait a minute. Adam Cole came out to do guest commentary along with Tony Schiavone and Excalibur for the match between Wardlow versus AC Adams, but Orange Cassidy came out and stared down Adam Cole. Well, Adam Cole got out of the commentary booth, and Orange Cassidy done his hands in the pockets thing, and then the Young Bucks, while Adam Cole had Orange Cassidy distracted, the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, came out, were trying to sneak behind Orange Cassidy, but Orange Cassidy done his leg kicks to the Young Bucks, and then as that was going on, Adam Cole attacked Orange Cassidy with a low blow, and the Young Bucks were mocking Orange Cassidy with super kicks, but in slow motion, but then the Young Bucks attacked Orange Cassidy with a double super kick. And so Adam Cole and the Young Bucks, after the Young Bucks attacked Orange Cassidy with a double super kick, Adam Cole and the Young Bucks dragged Orange Cassidy over on the stage. And Adam Cole and the Young Bucks were getting ready to do a triple BTE trigger, but Chuck Taylor and Wheeler Yuta came out with steel chairs, and Adam Cole and the Young Bucks, which are the Elite, retreated, and Chuck Taylor and Wheeler Yuta tended to Orange Cassidy and everything. That was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed the Death Triangle, which are Pac, Pinel Miedo, and Alex Abrahantes. And Tony Schiavone brought up that Rey Fenix couldn't be there because of injury and everything. And then Pinel Miedo brought up, Pinel Miedo cut a promo in Spanish but couldn't understand it, so Alex Abrahantes translated everything Pinel Miedo said, and Alex Abrahantes said, FTR, you want to injure my brother? Well, no worries, because I found me a tag team partner, and that is my amigo in the Death Triangle, Pac. And everything, and then Tony Schiavone asked Pac. He said, Pac, after what happened to you, after what Malachi Black done to you last week, are you going to be able to fight? And Pac said, Tony, of course I'm going to be able to fight. Just because I have an eye patch on my eye and after what Malachi Black done to me, that's not going to stop me from fighting. So this Friday, me and Pinel Miedo against FTR. And we're going to kill him and everything. That was cool. Alex Marvez interviewed Chris Jericho, and, Alex Marvez brought up to Chris Jericho about Chris Jericho coming to Eddie Kingston's aid on AEW Rampage, on All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage last Friday, and Chris Jericho cut Alex Marvez off, and Chris Jericho was saying, Alex, I didn't come to Eddie Kingston's aid. The only reason I attacked 2.0, which are Matt Lee and Jeff Parker, and Daniel Garcia last week, the only reason I went down to the ring and attacked 2.0 and Daniel Garcia last week is because I was getting retribution for them interrupting me. And if they want to fight, I'm right here and everything. And then 2.0, then Daniel Garcia and 2.0, which are Matt Lee and Jeff Parker, came out of nowhere and attacked Chris Jericho 3-on-1, beating the shit out of him, and they slammed his head into the garage door, and then Jeff Parker, after 2.0 and Daniel Garcia beat the shit out of Chris Jericho, Jeff Parker and Daniel Garcia slammed Chris Jericho head first into the garage door, and then Jeff Parker and Daniel Garcia held Chris Jericho down, and Matt Lee attacked Chris Jericho Matt Lee hit Chris Jericho in the head with a steel chair and everything, and laid him out and everything, and then 2.0 and Daniel Garcia were mouthing off to Chris Jericho after beating the shit out of him and everything. That was cool. Let me see. Team Taz, which are Taz, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Hook, were at the commentary booth, and Leo Rush came out, and Leo Rush had a microphone and cut a promo talking to Taz about having the odds stacked against him his whole career like Taz has, and Taz was saying, yeah, you make a good point there, Leo. And Leo Rush was talking about how Team Taz were going to, how him and Team Taz were going to be in the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal, and how Team Taz had a 125% chance and everything, and Taz was talking about, and Taz was bringing up to Leo Rush that telling Leo Rush, Leo, you're just pissed off because I took Dante Martin away from you, my man. So get to your point. And Leo Rush was saying, well, Taz, you may know me as a good-hearted man that's made of money, but I'm a fighter, and I will fight, and everything. And then Taz and Leo Rush continued to bicker back and forth, and then Ricky Starks and Dante Martin came out, and Dante Martin was rubbing it in that he joined Team Taz in Leo Rush's face and everything. And then Team Taz, which are Taz, Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, Dante Martin, and Hook, all embraced the moment and everything, while Leo Rush was just standing there looking shocked and everything. Which that was cool. Jade Cargill and Mark Sterling cut a promo, and Mark Sterling was talking about how Jade Cargill was going to be facing Thunder Rosa in the semifinals of the TBS Women's Title Tournament and everything. And Mark Sterling was talking about how Jade Cargill had a match against Thunder Rosa's student, Janae Kai, and everything. And then Jade Cargill was talking about how that was more competition, more trash for her to take out and everything. And then as Jade Cargill and Mark Sterling were talking, Thunder Rosa popped up and was saying, Jade, this Friday on AEW Rampage, you're going to be in a match. And just like Mark Sterling said, it's going to be against my student, Janae Kai. So, I'm making this match because I spoke to Tony Khan, and Tony Khan is having me fill in and Tony Khan is having me fill in for Chris Jericho on commentary on Rampage. So I'm getting to choose your match as well, and you'll be facing my student Janae Kai. And Jade Cargill was talking more shit, and Thunder Rosa was translating some shit in Spanish about kicking Jade Cargill's ass and everything, and Jade Cargill was talking shit towards Thunder Rosa, but then Jade Cargill and Mark Sterling left, and Thunder Rosa was just standing there and everything. That was cool. Now, besides all that, Tony Schiavone and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. Hangman Page done guest commentary along with Tony Schiavone and Excalibur during the match between Bryan Danielson versus Five. Hangman Page done great on guest commentary. MJF done guest commentary along with Tony Schiavone and Excalibur during the match between CM Punk versus Lee Moriarty. MJF done great on guest commentary. And Taz done guest And Taz done guest commentary along with Tony Schiavone and Excalibur during the matches of Sting and Darby Allin versus the Gun Club, which are Billy and Colton Gunn, Ruby Soho versus Chris Statlander, and Cody Rhodes versus Andrade El Idolo in an Atlanta street fight. Taz done great on guest commentary. And the only reason they had so many people doing guest commentary along with Tony Schiavone and Excalibur, Hangman Page, MJF, and Taz, well, the reason being is because, like I said in my All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage review last week, Jim Ross is going to be out for a while because where he has to take radiation treatments for his skin cancer. So therefore, he won't be on commentary, and there'll be people filling in for him throughout the week, throughout his leave of absence. But so far, it's been great. Like the guest, I guess that's what AEW is going to do, is they're going to have, it's going to be Tony Schiavone and Excalibur, but they're going to have guest commentators fill in for Jim Ross. That's what it looks like it's going to be, but that'd be cool. That's going to be cool nonetheless. But hopefully Jim Ross has a speedy recovery and he comes back real soon. But now, besides the commentary for the show, the referees for the event were Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Bryan Danielson versus Five. Rick Knox refereed the match between CM Punk versus Lee Moriarty. Paul Turner refereed the match between Wardlow versus AC Adams. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Sting and Darby Allin versus the Gun Club. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Ruby Soho versus Chris Statlander. And Paul Turner refereed the match between Cody Rhodes versus Andrade El Idolo in an Atlanta street fight. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now, besides all that, now the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite next week, it's going to be, wait a minute. Now, the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite next week that's been announced so far, it's going to be Bryan Danielson versus John Silver, a Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal, and Riho versus Jamie Hayter. Those are the matches that have been announced so far. But the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite next week, next week, looks like it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. Looking forward to it. And the match card for All Elite Wrestling, and the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage tomorrow night that's been announced. That's been announced. It's going to be. Wait. And the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage tomorrow night. It's going to be. It's going to be. It's going to be Sammy Guevara versus Tony Nese for the AEW TNT title. The Death Triangle, which are Pac and Pena El Cerro Miedo versus FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, and Jade Cargill versus Janae Kai. And so that's the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage tomorrow night. But not only that's going on, but Thunder Rosa will be doing guest comment. Thunder Rosa will be doing commentary. Thunder Rosa will be filling in for Chris Jericho on commentary, along with Taz, Excalibur, and Ricky Starks on All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage on Friday night as well. That'll be cool. But the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage looks like it's going to be up for tomorrow night. Looks like it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. Looking forward to it. Now, one thing I did forget. Tony Nese cut a promo talking about how he was going to beat the shit out of Sammy Guevara and take the AEW TNT title away from him and everything. That was cool. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give him a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite from last night, which was December 1st, 2021. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.